Yes, I know this is plenty. This is a whole lot of banku, like too much for any human being to eat. But if I tell you this is the quantity of banku my family consumes for the entire month, well, you understand why it will have to be plenty like this. So essentially, I'm going to walk you through the whole process, why I prepare this amount of banku and how I go about the whole process and I don't break my arm. Let's go. I'm lucky that banku will last for about 7 or 8 days. My mom visited us once in the house and she was like, we should be setting fire outside. We should use the wooden stove. It's a wooden stove. You know, the local stove thing that you add firewood to it and use firewood as fuel. And I insisted, I was like, heck no. If I'm setting fire and using firewood, I'm basically encouraging deforestation, cutting down of trees and polluting the environment. So, nah, it won't happen. She insisted, she pushed hard, but you know what? This is my turf. This is my house. I'm no more in her house, so like my rules apply. But this one is just stubborn. Before I came back from work one day, she actually bought the local stove thing and started setting the fire outside with a big pot. And Charlie, it don't go feel well plus about me. So yeah, I just took it like that. And the moment she left, everything was left like that. Until one day, it started to make sense. Let me explain. My house, there are a lot of trees. Palm trees, coconut trees, mango trees and all that. And from time to time, we trim them. And these excess branches are just packed in the house. They're just there in a whole huge heap. If we want to discard it, we have to burn it anyway. And burning it, number one, I'm still wasting that energy or that fuel and I'm still polluting the environment. Why don't I just use it as fuel? After opposing my mom for a very long time, I realized the woman gets sense. So in this video, I'm basically going to tell you how I prepare banku, a whole lot of it, just once a month. Sometimes it even lasts longer than that, but on average, I think for the past 3-4 months, yes, that is how I've been doing it now. Just I walk you through the whole process of not just preparing banku, but how I do it personally. I'm no expert, but it works for me so far. So yeah, let's go. I need to pack everything so that I wouldn't be moving back and forth. That pink thingy, that's where I pack all the banku when it's done. That table there is just for support. That water, for putting my hand inside and then getting things moist for testing and a lot of experiments to check whether the banku is ready or not. Oh no, that cork is not food, it's actually a pet. Oh, and someone came to give me some yellow corn, and since then I've become kind of addicted to the yellow corn thing. The ratio is usually 2:3. 2 parts cassava dough, 3 parts corn dough. So after adding all of it, the corn dough and the cassava dough, I mash it, or you mash it well. Anyway, I'm talking about how I do mine. So yeah, so I mash it all well, and the yellow corn just gives it this nice color. And since then, I don't know, if I see banku that is not yellow, it feels weird, or it looks weird to me. So now it's yellow corn all the way, or yellow banku all the way. And this is the thing, for situations like this, I still need to set the fire because this ice inside is freezing my hand. And yeah, so usually at this point it will just be done, and I add a lot of water. The quantity of water I add, that I don't know the ratio, but during the cooking process I just make sure that I get the texture to a certain point. If I'm preparing it to, I know I explain to you how that texture also works. Yeah, so at this point, since I did not defreeze the thing, the whole corn dough and cassava dough, so I need to set the fire to apply a little heat to it. So yeah, that's it. If you're using some other metal, let's say stove or something, this one you need to allow the fire to be just small under it, like just a little bit of heat, so that you don't cook yourself. At least the worst part of this whole process, the smoke. Oh my gosh, the smoke is just something else. So throughout this whole process, you realize that I'll be getting up and be moving around the whole pot, trying to swerve the smoke so that I wouldn't inhale it. I wish I would have used like a nose mask or something. It would have made the process a little more endurable. Oh, and since I started this whole process not long ago, I don't have fan yet, so I'm using that is it bean collector? What's the name of that thing? If you know it, tell me in the comment for me. I know get sense plenty. That's why I use that as my fan to fan the fire. So again, it's an excellent idea to take out your corn and cassava doughs. That's if you've deep frozen them, you take them out overnight so that they'll defreeze, or you leave them out for a couple of hours so that they'll defreeze well. And this process would be much less stressful. Hydration is always key, and especially in an environment like this where there's going to be a lot of heat. Like, I encourage you to have a lot of fluid around you. and for me that's a freezing cold water. Or is it water? What's inside that cup? I don't know. I can't remember though. But yeah, you need a lot of fluid in your system. So now that everything has been mashed nicely and uniformly mixed, I do it. And whilst you are doing it, if there are any imperfections or let's say some strands or residue of cassava and stuff, you leave it out. Oh, and I still struggle with the salt combination. I'm not used to this quantity of Banku so much, so I still struggle with the salt. I think there was one time the salt was too much and another time there wasn't enough at all. So yeah, my family, they still enjoyed it like that. So at this point you just keep stirring it gently with moderate amount of flour. You don't increase it too much. You stir it gently until until it hardens. Yeah, so as the saying goes, cut them young. So I'm training my small girls to start the whole cooking process for now. There you go. So
instead of even stirring the cocoa for mommy, if you don't stir it well, the Banku will not turn out well. Why are you scared of the fire? Yeah, girl, shouldn't be scared of fire. Yeah, good.
Before you come and tell me another video that is child labor, you don't know what is child labor. Yeah, and it's crazy that far. Now all the hair on my arm is gone because Charlie, the whole Banku cooking thing, it make my hair all disappear for I'm finished.
Come on, give daddy 5. Yeah, okay, so say your 10.
Oh, good.
Fine. Hold it, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Ready? Go. Stay. That's good. Go. Do it. Come on. What? I know. Sorry. But that's what it's supposed to be. Sit down. Daddy's here. You'll not get hurt. Sit. Hold it. And stay. Go ahead. Stay.
Yeah, so the smoke says the thing, truthfully. By this point, if you are fast, you can actually increase the fire so that it would cook faster. If you are fast enough, you can actually increase the fire to make this process or this part of the process a little faster. If you're not stirring it consistently, what happens is that you get a lot of your Banku not be consistent, it's not be smooth. You have small bits and pieces of how do I call that? I don't know. Challenge myself. Don't come and worry in my head. I know here bled too much, but you just have these small balls inside the Banku with balls in the Banku. Nah, it still doesn't sound good. But it will just not be soft enough. It will not be smooth throughout. Yeah. That is it. I've bent my arms, Charlie. The hair all finished. Then Sakura. And this is where people who are impatient like me, we struggle, because you see, now it's not solidifying early enough or fast enough. So I've decided I increase the fire, and that can be a very bad idea. But I know I'm stirring consistently, so if you continue that way, you can still get some really smooth and uniform Banku to enjoy. You always make sure you pay attention to the base of the pot or the base of the Banku, so that the ladle gets all the way down. See that solidifying this thing at the top. What is solidifying there? That can tell you how tender the Banku will be, because those ones are almost cooked. So what I do to check is that I take a little bit, put it in water, and allow it to cool a little. Now what happens is that will tell me how tender or hard the Banku will be. Okay, that will tell me how that determines how tender or hard the banku be. So after a few minutes, when the one I placed in water cools, holding this banku now is cold. So this what is telling me that this banku is going to be hard if I continue preparing it like this. So it means there's not enough water. So I'll end up adding a little water. Or sometimes you add a little more cassava dough, because cassava dough makes the banku tender more. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I go a little extreme to make sure that I get the very best, because this banku is supposed to last for a whole month. So if it doesn't turn out well the whole month, you are going to be enjoying banku that is not the best. Yeah, so now it's getting a little harder. So why I don't add those metal hooks to hold the pot, there are actually two reasons. Reason number one is that the pot basically fits snugly inside this stove, so I just cook it like that. I just use it like that. Number two, I'll explain the second method for you when we are going for it. There's a second reason why I don't use that metal, which is very, very critical, which is very key in making sure that I get the best version, or you get the very best banku you can get. Yeah. So ideally, I'll sit down to do this whole process, but the fire is just killing my eyes, and it's something else. As whilst all this is happening, the ladle spreads the banku all over the pot. When I use this little bowl thing to help in the scraping process, maybe it might be too hot for my hand. So you see what just happened. This is why I don't use the metal leg thing or the metal hook to hold it. Okay, because if the banku is tender, out of experience I realize that if the banku is tender enough, at least in my situation, and I'm stirring it, it will not be so hard to stir. But the moment I'm stirring at this point and then the pot moves, then it means that the banku is too hard. Yeah, so the moment I stir and then the pot moves too much, please don't do this with your hand. Okay, you burn yourself. Don't do this. Okay, don't do it. I'm just too lazy to go take the napkin from the room, and yeah. So this whole process, what is happening now, is just telling me that my guy, your banku, it had too much. It had too much. So here you still keep the fire just enough, not an inferno, so that the banku still cook gently. So this whole process is very necessary so that you get everything cooked uniformly. And I like using that bowl too. I think there are plastic ones you can also use, or ladle, but yeah. Standing obviously looks ridiculous, but it's the only way I can prepare this banku without getting all the smoke in my eyes. And I wouldn't have to go in the steps Saleria IMX. Oh, did I mention that they are the sponsors of this video? Yeah, they made this video possible. Now they have a new branch at Denu, so you need to go there, check them out. They give you the very best of eye care services. Saleria IMX, the #1 eye care giver in the Volta region. I think we have branches in Ho, we have one in Denu, and I think a few other places too. So yeah, check the guys out. So that is my almost ready banku. And more, but then I allow it to stay on the fire a little longer to be sure that it's cooked well. There. So now that the water is added to it, I just add, I just add the ladle to it and then allow the water to seep under the rest of the banku to cook. This allows the banku itself to cook more. Oh, listen to that sound. That's yellow banku for you. So after allowing it to cook for some few more minutes, and this is the difficult part. Now I reduce the fire completely, and then this process you have to do it gently, because if that water splash on you, trust me, nothing hurts more than that. Anyway, it will be like broken heart the pain, but this one too the pains more. So just do it gently and make sure that everything moves well. This whole process, now the banku needs to be smooth. The water that you just added needs to enter the whole banku. So the stirring process goes on and on and on I have to be gentle with it and do it so everything will be smooth, everything will look super on point. It's not just a good banku, the presentation too is on point. That is why I'm beginning to love the yellow banku. Like I said previously, now that the pot is no more moving or it's not moving too much, it's telling me that this banku is tender enough, at least to the softness level of my family's enjoyment. Some families or some people like their banku, at different level of tenderness, but this is how my family loves it. Yeah, so now that it's getting, I feel like it's almost ready. I take a little bit again, put it in water. That's the test to see how tender it is. So after it cools down and I'm holding it, this is soft enough. So that tells me that banku, Charlie, is just on point. Just on point. So now the fire again is reduced to the barest minimum. So as you stir and stir and stir. There's one method that I used to check whether the banku is ready or not. There are actually two methods. One, you just touch the banku or hold the banku with your hand. If you don't have anything like fresh dough, like cassava dough or corn dough on your hand, it means your banku is getting close. Yeah, like this. If you hold it and then it doesn't stick to your hand in small bits and pieces, then it means that your banku is almost ready. But the key thing, the most critical part of making sure your banku is well cooked is whilst you are stirring it, if the texture, the color, if you are stirring it and then the color that comes from below the banku is darker than the one at the surface, it means that your banku is still not ready, it's still not cooked. I'll take that again. If you are stirring the banku and then the one that the ladle brings from below the pot, if it has a darker color than the one on top, then it means your banku is still not ready. So you allow it to stir it a little more and allow it to cook. But the moment you get to a point where the color is uniform across board, below and above, it means your banku is just on point. Yeah, so I think my banku is there now. Next thing is the hallelujah part. It means your banku is ready. You just need to serve it to sizes that work for your family. That is it. But I hate this process because it delays a little bit, and yeah, but at least I'm happy that it's almost done. The size of the banku you are scooping depends on two sizes, but the main thing you need to keep in mind is that the banku shouldn't be too much. It should be small enough to fit in the rubber, and then the rubber will also seal completely, because if it doesn't seal, remember we are preserving it for a whole month. If it doesn't seal well, you start getting those parts that are exposed. So either start getting spots from that side first, developing fungus or something, or it will get hard. That part will get hard and then it will enter the whole banku. Yeah, so that is condition number one you need to look at. Factor number two you need to consider in the size is the people in your house. If you have elders, then you're going to have bigger portions. If you have young people, you're going to have smaller portions. I really hate the point where like someone is going to eat and then they cannot consume the whole bowl, and you have to like divide it into two and leave a smaller one there. What ends up happening over time is that some people don't like to eat what people have used part of. Like everyone wants a fresh set that they can remove the whole rubber. So over time you have small bits and pieces of banku inside the container and they'll just go to waste. And Charlie, wasting food there is a no-no. So yeah, that is it. After this whole process, you just put them like that in a rubber, seal it nicely, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, you have to make it a little tight. If it's tight enough if it fits the banku and it is tight on the rubber, or the rubber is tight on the banku, or if you take the rubber off, it makes it look so presentable. It looks so good. It looks so good, especially if it's yellow banku. Hey Charlie, this yellow content is becoming a sickness. Oh, did I mention also that there are two types of rubber? There's one that you have to come and split in the house yourself, but there's one that they've actually opened one side already. I believe that one, the color is blue. So if you're going to buy, yeah, you have that option there. But I really like this bowl. This is the ceramic one. You can, like I said, you can use the plastic one or you can use some ladle. I don't know why. I just love ceramic. Whether it's healthy or not, that I cannot tell. But I just feel like the plastic one will not be a good idea in this situation. I don't know, but I just love the ceramic. If you're a health expert or something and it's not healthy, tell me under the comments.
Yep.
everything is done, I fill the pot with a lot of water to the brim so that the banku will soften and then I can actually wash it. Some people pour water in a bowl and then turn the pot upside down into it. For me, I don't have a bowl large enough to do that. So yeah, that is it. And at this point, your family can look at you and smile and say, yay, you've done a good job. That is my yellow banku. Potentially going to serve the whole family for the month. Yeah, you are so not invited.